Welcome into the first edition of Under the Influence. I am Brian Glenn. Thanks so much for joining us right here on Right Side Broadcasting Network. And Under the Influence is a new show here to the network that pulls the curtain back on your most popular conservative influencers and find out why they got into what they do, what their first post was, and oddly enough, in today's time, how they are dealing with censorship. We'll get into our first guest here in a few minutes. But this show is powered by our friends over at Patriot Mobile. Yes, if you're not familiar with Patriot Mobile, our next guest can tell you all about that. Glenn Story joining me now on the set for the first edition of Under the Influence. Welcome.
Well, thank you very much. I'm really excited to be here and great to, I'm very happy to support the show.
Yeah, well, we're happy to support you guys.
Yes.
Now, if someone's not familiar with Patriot Mobile, give us the 411 on that.
In a nutshell, Patriot Mobile is a Judeo-Christian conservative communications company. I know it's long-winded, but that's what we are. We sell cell phones and cell phone service to conservative individuals and organizations, and we promise to carve out a portion and donate back to the conservative movement.
And we've talked before on the network how important it is to support companies that are like-minded like you. There's a lot of big tech companies out there that are funding different agendas that you may not personally agree with politically or philosophically or spiritually. You guys break the mold on that. I mean, you guys are 100% giving portions of your proceeds to conservative causes.
Yeah, that's 100% accurate. You know, we believe in the First Amendment, the freedom of religion, the freedom of speech, the right to assemble. Second Amendment is the right to bear arms. We support the military and first responders, and above all, we believe in the sanctity of life. And so we carve out up to 3 to 4% of our revenue and donate back. And, you know, it has an impact. Last year, we supported the EEM. Earlier this year, it was able to print another 10,000 Bibles.
Wow.
And put those in the hands of those that wanted them for free.
Wow. Okay. So I've got a cell phone right here, and many of you may be watching us on your device or obviously have it near you. Let's address the elephant in the room just for a second. Switching cell phone companies is not the easiest thing to do traditionally, but you're here to tell me that someone right now can switch their cell phone service like that by just calling you guys. Let's talk about how easy it is.
Yeah, no question. It's, you know, you hear about us, you call 972-PATRIOT. You'll get a hold of one of our customer care centers that is Texas-based. We're either in Dallas-Fort Worth area or down in Killeen around the military base.
Mm-hmm.
Another way we support the military. And you call in, you say, hey, this is what we want. We can activate a phone in 10 minutes or less.
And you keep your same device though, right?
Same device, same telephone number.
That's important because I know a lot of people out there are going, it's like, you know, Glenn, I don't want to change my number. I've had it for 10 years, 20 years. Everybody knows my number. You can keep your number, you can keep your phone, but what you're doing is you're sending money to a company that invests in conservative causes and helps out the Judeo-Christian world and all the things that you're involved with Bibles and ministry services,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. So we encourage everyone right now to pick up the phone and call 972-PATRIOT,
Mm-hmm.
right? And get a hold of one of your customer service people, because every dollar you spend has a ripple effect in our culture, and why not support companies that
right.
align with our ideals?
No question. And hey, you forgot to say /
RSBN.
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
There you
We
go.
want to make sure that you guys get the credit for the folks that you share the business with.
Yeah, we'll have that website on the screen down below as well for you to help out, because we're very transparent on this network that we are viewer funded. We are also funded by great sponsors and partners like Patriot Mobile. And if it wasn't for Glenn and your entire team, a lot of times, you know, there's a lot of companies that depend on very loyal sponsors like yourself. So we certainly appreciate everything you do. So walk me through one more time. So if they don't like their carrier, now what if someone's in a contract right now? How does that work?
Well, call us and, you know, ultimately we'll buy the contract out.
Okay.
It's very simple, up to $500 a line.
Okay, and if they want a new phone, you can still provide that too.
All phones are available through us.
Wow. Okay, so you get a new phone, new service, and your money's going to conservative causes. I don't know what's better than that, Glenn. I really don't.
I tend to agree with you. You know?
All right, real quick, let's recap CPAC. I saw you there here in Dallas. Big response you guys had at your booth. I mean, you had the whole wheel, you were spinning, giving away prizes. You had skylights going up in the air like that. Good response, right?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was red meat conservatives. They love the Constitution. They love their Lord and Creator, and they love the country. So you look at it, it's the best place we could be as a group. And we had a lot of fun. The only thing we didn't have was a smoke machine. That we'll have next year.
Next year, a smoke machine and flamethrowers coming up behind the Patriot Mobile bench. But it's awesome. I'm so glad to have you guys a part of Under the Influence and as a partner here at Right Side Broadcasting Network. Because, like I said, man, companies like yourself help fuel the conservative causes, and we got an uphill climb here,
we do.
Without a doubt. I was just talking off camera to a couple people, and we were talking about the problems of the world, and I think it all takes people coming together and have intelligent conversations with different viewpoints of getting things solved, and hopefully this show does just that and brings in some conservative influencers. You may or may not agree with them, but at the end of the day, it starts a conversation which needs to be held.
Hey, we want truth, right? Truth in what's really going on.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that a lot of people talk to us about is truth, that you guys are the only ones out there covering some of the stories. And I was listening to one of the Alphabet channels on my flight back here to Dallas, and it was interesting. They kept calling the audit in Arizona a sham. And I thought, okay, well, that's an interesting way to put it. I mean, it seems like journalism in a way. Let's find out the truth. I mean, companies are audited all the time. Individuals are audited by the IRS all the time. An audit is not necessarily a bad thing. It just provides transparency.
That's right.
And clarity.
That's right. And we love them, quite frankly.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, it's been fun. And you know what? Get on your phone, people. You use this. Matter of fact, by the way, you can do a screen time report on how long you spend on your phone. Any guess of how long you spend on your phone on a daily basis?
A couple hours, I'm sure.
Oh, way more than that, I'm sure, right?
Well, this has been about 10 minutes that I haven't been on the phone.
That's true.
And that I'll take that away from the 24 hours.
I spend about 9 hours a day on this phone. Now, granted, it's like a computer, too, when you think about these cell phones. It's like your laptop, so emails, things like that. Perhaps you spend time on your phone on social media. Coming up after the break, we'll meet our very first guest here on Under the Influence. I can't wait for you to meet her, and you've probably seen her post. We'll do that when we come back. Stick around. Patriot Mobile is the only Christian conservative wireless provider in the country. Now more than ever, it's vital that we support companies and organizations that share our values. You get award-winning customer service and the technology you need to connect your worlds. Simply go online to patriotmobile.com/RSBN for special offers. Welcome back to Under the Influence. As a reminder, please visit and support our friends over at Patriot Mobile. They are a proud partner of this program. We want to make sure that we contribute all that we can to conservative causes. So head over to Patriot Mobile and get your phone activated. All right, our first guest on the show is no stranger to probably many of you, as you might follow her on all the social media platforms. I met her back in D.C. months ago. She hails from the great state of Oregon. Emma Mitchem is a digital creator and influencer in the conservative space, and we are proud to have her on the first episode here of Under the Influence. Emma, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Brian. This is a wonderful setup. I love it.
Well, we're glad to have you on here. And I remember the first day I met you. It was a very cold day there in Washington, D.C. We were at an event. You came up and said, hey, guys at Right Side Broadcasting, I love you guys. We took a selfie. I shared it. Little did I know at that particular moment that you're the rock star in all of this. And I came across your account instantly and fell in love with everything you do. And if someone's not familiar with some of the content you post up, let's talk about that to our audiences of the nature of your social media post.
Well, I try to provide entertainment, lighthearted, informational memes and movie clips that are turned into memes. There's always a movie clip for everything these days. So I try to think of it on the spot, try to keep it current and hot. And we got to laugh through the hard times or we'll all be crying. So that's kind of my attitude as I go about managing my social media accounts.
Okay, so let's talk about the very first post that you had. What was it? And do you remember the feedback you got from posting it up, either from trolls or from people that agree with you?
So I've been very politically active forever, so at least online. So the last couple years, I've been actually going out being just instead of a keyboard warrior, I'm actually going out being physically involved with either door knocking or hosting flag waves and helping out with other events. But I don't really focus on the trolls too much. There's not too many. And they're rather entertaining. So sometimes their trolling comments can provide for some great content later down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but fortunately I grew up conservative, so I didn't have a red pill moment. I wasn't really smart or ignorant when it came to politics, but when I prepped for my first presidential vote in 2012, that's when I became really interested in politics. The more I was learning and researching again, because I didn't really remember what I was taught in school, kind of like in one ear, out the other, just so I could pass it, get the good grade. And then when it came time to vote for my first presidential election, I kind of had to start back from scratch and relearn the basics of civics. And then from there, I just fell in love with politics, and the more I learned, the more aha moments came to my head, and I just haven't stopped since.
Yeah, and I think I'd really admire about you, Emma, is you do take on some of the critics that we might see on social media that might come from the conservative side. You're not afraid to call those individuals out as well. We don't have to name them right now, but you don't back down, and I really admire that in you.
Yeah, no one's immune to criticism. Especially if they're not really rooted in facts or more, speculation. We gotta be the voice of reason. I gotta throw that out there whenever I see it.
Yeah.
You can take it or leave it.
Let's talk about your friendships. Have you lost any good time, long-term friends you've had because of your social media stance, or have they stayed with you, or perhaps, obviously, you've probably gained a few friends along the way?
I've gained a lot of friends. I really haven't lost many. I've been very blessed to grow up in a Christian conservative household. And with that being said, it's, I've got a fairly conservative circle just kind of by accident. It's not like I try to make it be that way. It's just as I think about it. So I haven't really been canceled, at least with my friends, but work, yes. When I met you, Brian, in DC, I was at that time currently unemployed. I was looking for work. My job was 6 years. They let me go because I was becoming more and more politically active outside of work. And the haters in Eugene, Oregon, and Portland, which is the hub of Antifa and BLM, they were out to get me fired. And boy, did my work cave to the will of the cancel culture mob. And they had to, unfortunately let me go after 6 years. And they were a conservative business too, but they just read too much into the noise.
Okay, let's talk about shadow banning real quickly. I mean,
yes.
I could only imagine that your account has been throttled a few times by social media.
Yes. Fortunately, I'm out of it. I just got out of it a couple of days ago, but I was shadow banned really, really hard for 3 weeks. I think I was only getting maybe 10% reach if I'm lucky. But all of us go through waves of shadow banning. So who knows how long this period will last where I have my reach again. So, but with that being said, just keep posting, keep making content, keep voicing your opinions. Just pretend like you're not being shadow banned, even though you might be. That's kind of my mindset.
I was just going to ask if you had any advice to up-and-coming influencers that are just getting started, and some of these young people are really afraid to, vocalize their opinions in the world of politics in fear of losing friends and getting shadow banned. So what's your number one advice to all of them right now?
Just keep talking, keep speaking up. Don't worry about the haters, the opinions. If you are confident in what you're saying is true and it's backed by facts, not so much emotions, then you're going to win. You'll win in the end. And just keep a good head on your shoulders and just keep posting, keep spreading the message. Just don't stay silent. That's what they want us to do.
Can you recall offhand your number one post that got the most impressions and the most feedback? Do you know that offhand? We'd love to throw that up.
It was a meme. It was a couple months ago. It's actually one of my favorite ones still. It was in reference to Joe Biden calling Texans Neanderthals, or having Neanderthal thinking for wanting to stop the masks, when Greg Abbott canceled the mask mandates. But I took that Neanderthal comment and I made a Geico meme. I took an old Geico clip from, I think it was like 15 years old. It was the caveman going through the airport on the, what do you call it? The moving path, moving sidewalk. And he's walking right past the sign that says, "So easy, caveman can do it." So I just took that picture out, the original Geico picture out of the caveman, poking, looking down at that keyboard. And I put Joe Biden's picture and his quote, his Neanderthal thinking quote. And it blew up all over Twitter. It blew up. It got retweeted by Ted Cruz. I'm sure other people saw it, but I didn't catch. It got millions of views on Instagram, the biggest accounts reposting it. And like a month later, Instagram ended up deleting that one because of intellectual property violation, even though they were leaving all the other ones up that people were reposting. So
interesting.
Yeah,
all right.
Very interesting.
Last final couple of questions, and I know that some of your fans might be curious to this. What was the name of your first pet?
First pet. Oh, good question. I've had a few. They all started with J. So Jeb, Justine, Jackson, Janie, Joanna. Yeah, lots of J names.
And your favorite thing, your go-to fast food is what?
I do like McDonald's.
There you go. All right. One last one, though. Any political races right now going on in the country that you really have your eye on and you can't wait to dabble in some social media memes and content? Any races or any states that are exciting you right now?
Right now I'm looking at Carrie Lake in Arizona, so I can't wait to see how that plays out. I'm rooting for her. That's really the one I'm thinking of.
All right.
Thinking of right now. I'm sure there's a few others. Adam Kinzinger in Illinois. That'll be a good one. I hope to see him get booted. And same with Liz Cheney. So there's some rhinos that need to go, and I can't wait to see the results.
All right. So how can people find you if they're not right now connected to you? Let's go ahead and give out your social media handles for that. So
I put most of my attention on Instagram. So you can follow me on Instagram at Emma _Mitchem, EMMA_MITCHEM, Emma Mitchem.
And I know you have a backup account as well, because you never know when the first one might go. Yeah.
So my backup is still the same. Instead of the underscore, it's a period. So it's Emma_Mitchem.
There you go. Emma Mitchem, the great Emma Mitchem, kicking off here Under the Influence. We appreciate your time there, and I enjoy your time in Florida, but I think Oregon needs you to get back and help that state as well, because you've got a long fight ahead of you there.
Yes, we do.
Well,
thank you so much for having me, Brian.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, that does it for our first edition of Under the Influence. As a reminder, go out and support our friends over at Patriot Mobile. We'll put all the information up on the screen so you can get involved in full transparency. When you help out that company, you're helping out everybody here at Right Side Broadcasting Network. So we appreciate that. Until next time, goodbye, God bless, and happy posting.